That's better. See if we have sound. All right, we got sound. Cool. Let's see. So, dirty comment. Almost done with baby step 2. Want to buy a vehicle to do side work with. When should you start saving for that vehicle? After you finish step 3, full emergency fund. So basically, you need to buy the vehicle for the side work. That's basically a business expense, and you do business stuff at the speed of cash, and you don't do that until you have your full emergency fund in step 3. So there's your help. You're welcome. Kind of cute. All right. Thanks. What up, Joy? I thought you had been in here before, Joy. Guess not. Thanks for coming now. Iced tea. Jury's still out on user. Start saving for that vehicle after baby step 3 is correct. And hopefully iced tea is not the same as any of these other troll people. So, yeah. Alrighty, so once again, I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. But if you're on the main page, you just scroll down from my financial content. That's answering your financial questions. That's a weekend stream, and that is almost always at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday and Sunday. It will change if there's an Ohio State Buckeye game or a Washington Commanders game that is during that 8:30 p.m. time slot, Eastern time slot. And in that case, I will do it in the afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern time, which is Ramsey show time during the week. And the Ramsey show after show, that is this show. There are 393. This one is 394. So plenty of listening to me that you can do on there. Also, the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. The most recent one, How to Do the Baby Steps Right. And probably my best video is a lyric video I made for You Belong Debt Free. You belong debt free. And so you can listen to those if you are so inclined. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I'd seen you in here. Thanks, Joy, for supporting and dropping by. Market report. And of course, it's not on the correct page. No, that's not what we want either. We want, well, let's try that. There we go. So we get the full, oh, okay. So it was heading down, but I guess like in the last half hour of the trading day, NASDAQ went back up to 2.51%. It was up like around 2.9%. I thought it might even hit 3% today, which 3% in one day is pretty good when you are only looking for 3%, 10% over the year to beat the S&P 500 index average. And the small cap index in second place here, the Russell 2000, 2.1%. And the Dow Jones and S&P 500, I believe, both hit new highs. See what the rest of the planet did. Everything up in Europe, everything up in Asia. How about that? Everything up. Let's see what the currencies are. And generally, when the market does really well in the U.S., Generally, the dollar is under all the rest of the currencies. So let's see if that holds true today. The euro up over the US dollar. Japanese yen up over the US dollar. The British pound, love, up over the US dollar. Canadian dollar up over the US dollar, and the Australian dollar mate up against the US dollar. So like I said, the pattern holds. That it's not 100%, but it does seem that way, that when there's a really good market day, the dollar will be down against the rest of the world. Let's see. Jav has another question. Coach Steve, is it okay to put my emergency funds in a high yield savings account? And is it okay to fund $2,000 in baby step one? I currently have $1,400 in baby step one. Baby step one should be $1,000 only while you pay off your debt, and then later then you can up the emergency fund to the full 3 to 6 month amount. And the reason that you do that, I'm sure you feel more comfortable with $1,400 in there. And then you would feel more comfortable with $2,000 in there as well. You're not supposed to feel comfort. The uncomfort is supposed to motivate you to get your debt paid off fast so you can have more in savings. And so the problem that I have a lot with this is that most people who have a problem with it being just $1,000, they didn't even have $1,000 before they started the Ramsey advice, before they started on the baby steps. So that's being baby steps. So that's being intellectually dishonest with yourself there. So yeah, it's just $1,000 until you finish paying off all your non-mortgage debt. And as far as a high yield savings account, you have to have immediate access to it. You know why you have to have immediate access to your emergency fund? Because emergencies do not wait 1 to 3 days for a transfer. Now, do they? So make sure you have debit card or check writing privileges on that high yield savings account. In that case, it would be fine to have it in a high yield savings account, but I think most of them do not offer that. And of course, Sid says 2K, baby step one, technically means you're not on the plan. But if that's what it takes for you to get on board, then do it. And that is fine. You, of course, anybody is free to do exactly what they want to do because it's their life and their hard-earned money. But the way it's written, the way the baby steps are written, is the way it's been proven. And you wanting to change it, there's no data on that as to whether it works as well. So the Dave way is the best way to do it. Let's see. Longer than characters allow. Joy. Yeah, you can. coachstevemoney at gmail.com. You can send a question if you would like. But I mean, if it involves numbers, I probably only need the numbers and what the numbers are for. A lot of times, I mean, the backstory, like especially in calling the Ramsey show, the backstory and all the extra stuff, it doesn't really matter when giving the answer, because the answer is going to be you follow the baby steps, and so you do what the baby step says. But if you'd rather email it to me, you absolutely can. Yep. Sid knows the email address. And let's see, where were we on here? Oh, we did a lot of crypto talk today, and people are nutty. They're like, oh, you know, Bitcoin is going to be good. That's going to be what the government's use for that. You don't think the government is going to make their own freaking virtual currency and maybe outlawing this other stuff? Like some countries have already outlawed virtual currency, I believe. And so you don't think that's going to happen? You don't think the United States government is going to have their own virtual currency, and then all of this stuff here that you've bought here is going to be worth nothing? So there's way more chance of that than the government deciding to use Bitcoin, something that's not in their control. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Let's see what the futures are. Futures, awesome. Look at that. Another 2.5 up for the NASDAQ. And you S&P 500 people, you guys are nutty, because let me tell you, I mean, even if, I mean, you shouldn't be doing index funds anyway in retirement. You should be doing managed funds because they can make more than the index. But let's take a look here. Last 5 years for the S&P 500, 90.96%. That is cool, and that is way more than the 10% average. That is awesome. But check it out, Weez. The NASDAQ, 5 years, 121.91%. Do you really want to leave that extra 30% over 5 years? You're leaving that on the table by not, at least do half and half in it. If you're gonna be lazy and not try to find the managed funds that beat the index, at least invest in both indexes. The NASDAQ is mostly tech stocks, and people love tech. And they're going to continue to love tech until we have a Skynet incident and it becomes sentient and destroys us all. But at that point, we won't have to worry about it. Then we'll just be trying to find John Connor or his mother, Sarah. Why was Trump's kids promoting crypto? I have no idea. I don't concern myself too much with politics. Boom. Oh yeah, so the crypto there, right, and that's why everybody loves to talk about it, because they want us to buy it so that their holdings are worth more. Yes, absolutely. Yep, Sid, no, what up? Oh, let's see, what else do we want to talk? Oh, we want to see where are they? Let's see who's reporting this week. Lennar, I don't know what that is. When is that? Oh, that was today, and FedEx today too. I don't know what Lennar is, but let's go ahead and see what FedEx did today. Let's see, in after-hour trading, they're down, so I'm assuming they had a bad report. Let's see. Stock slumps. It wasn't just the earnings that were bad. Okay, they had bad earnings and probably sounds like lower demand for priority services. You would think coming up here with the holidays that might pick up. But yeah, so if it's bad earnings the past quarter, and if the outlook is not that good for the next quarter, then that can result in your 10% down in the after hours trading. So that's how that works. MJ, so many questions. Fun times. Coach, should I invest in an index fund or managed fund if the managed funds have a greater than 2% fee? The managed funds that I have less than 1% more than the index fund has. So, but what you got to think about there, that MJ, is that the managed funds, if the managed funds make 7% more, you can handle that 2% extra fee. Is that not worth it? Because that's a plus 5% gain. So that's right. And in your country, anything goes in other countries. But like I said, if it makes more than the 2%, anything it makes over that extra expense ratio, then that's all gravy right there. And so that's more money there. So that's what you should do there. Alrighty. Let's see. Did we get everything on this? I think we did. Yeah. Oh, no, we didn't. I got distracted by the earnings reports. We just want to check to see. Oh, X that. There we go. And the most followed single stocks on the Google. And look at these numbers. All of these guys are in the NASDAQ. Probably in the S&P 500 as well, but 3.71% for Apple, 1.46 for Alphabet. Guess what company they are the parent company of, Sid? That's right, the Google. Microsoft, 1.83 up. Amazon, 1.85 up. Meta, the artist formerly known as Facebook, now the parent company of the Facebook. And I think they own Instagram too, I believe, right? 3.93%. And big time, 7.36% for Tesla. They have been having a bad time of it recently. Let's see, last 6 months. So they've been down here, and then it has come back slowly. Let's do 1 year for them. So they're down over the last year. Still up for the past 5 years though. So, but they got they still have a ways to go to get back to their high. Well, let's look at the max and see if that was the high. When was that? 2022. Probably, yeah. So they still have a little ways to go, but up 7% today. So good for them. Let's check some news stories. This is The Guardian. This is from the bloody UK, love. California man finds he's been paying his neighbor's electric bill for 15 years. That would be a bummer, wouldn't it? I wonder if they'll give him a refund for that. Ken Wilson had been trying to conserve electricity in order to lower his utility bill, but it was still stubbornly high. I guess it was if you're paying for the neighbor's electric in addition to your own. Let's see, Sacramento and San Francisco. I'm sure utilities not cheaper there than they are like in the Midwest or something like that. So pretty high, just like everything else there. Oh, let's see. Eventually complained to the local utility PG&E, which sent a worker out to investigate. I thought there was a leak or someone was stealing my electricity or the meter was faulty because something wasn't right, Wilson said. Instead, discovered that Wilson's meter was linked to unit number 91 in his building, not his own apartment. Number 90 records suggested the situation had been going on since at least 2009. They apologized in a statement and said a preliminary investigation revealed the meter number for the customer's apartment was being billed to another apartment since potentially 2009. Let's see. For now, he's still paying his neighbor's bill, as PG&E said. It can only be changed in the next billing cycle. Well, I mean, I guess I get that. Can you relate to that, Sid? If Sid is still watching. Can you relate to that where like they can't do anything about it? I know we own the company and we set up the billing cycles, but we can't do anything about this. But like theoretically, they could still give him, back extra credit for the time that before they could fix it. So yeah, how does that happen? That would be what we call a mistake by somebody. They set it up to be billed to the wrong apartment. It does not say whether his apartment was being billed to somebody else or not, though. Now, does not say that. What else we got? Oh, this is a fun one. New York Post. This is from 2018, though, but I just heard about it. iPhone and Android users are completely different people. Let's see, it says iPhone users are generally happier, more extroverted, more adventurous, and make more money than Android users, according to new research. Study of 1,000 iPhone owners and 1,000 Android owners found that whether you prefer an iPhone or Android may say a lot about your personality and even your spending habits. Let's see, survey by Slick Deals. I strongly recommend Slick Deals. Don't go on there looking for deals because you will be, that's like going to Costco. You will come out of there with $500 spent. But when you're looking for something, check on slickdeals.net. for that and put in code SID, SYD. I'm not good enough to have a code yet. Let's see, cell phone giants against each other. Found iPhone users will shell out 117 on average every month on clothes, nearly doubling it what an Android user will spend. See, I mean, they were happier, more extroverted, more adventurous, and make more money, but then you also lose more by spending more as well. So, and this is just 1,000 and 1,000, so you would need more studies on this, but it is interesting. Amusingly, iPhone users were also found to be very vainer, taking 12 selfies every day. That's not a shocker, which is 5 more than Android users take. Furthermore, iPhone users are more than twice as likely to report that they like being center of attention. Well, I don't have an iPhone, I have an Android. But I do like to be the center of attention. iPhone users also clearly value an optimal tech experience, spending a whopping 101 every month on tech-related purchases. Users will spend half of that. Yep, Android users, self-admittedly, the more frugal of the groups. The Android users being 25% more likely to strongly agree that they think they are a frugal person, and being 19% more likely to say they look for deals and discounts often. All right, let's see. Again, we did say that iPhone users were happier, but it sounds like it comes at a price. They consider themselves more personable and sociable than Android users. Let's see, more likely bunch to get out of their house or apartment on weekends and meet people. And I'm not doing that. So, unless they're at the grocery store, when I go to the grocery store, then I'll talk with them. Android users don't shy away from adventure on the big screen, though, as surveys showed, it was their favorite movie genre, along with action movies and thrillers. Okay. iPhone users spend 5 whole hours a day or 76 full days a year looking at their phone in some capacity. And what is the Android will spend 26 full days out of the year looking at their phone. Oh no, sending text messages. 58 for iPhone users, 26 for Android. So, yeah, obviously more testing will need to be done. That's just 1,000 versus 1,000. And so that may not be the dealio. Let's see. Fees got removed from tax deductions a few years ago, which is really frustrating. Tax deductions on what and what fees? Oh, feds keep taking deductions away from the little guy. A 6K deduction would be nice. What was that deduction for? Yeah, they did that, but they also increased the standard deduction, and that helped more people. And so now as it may also make taxes easier because you don't have to do all the itemization. MJ, iPhone user, apparently. Should we really be stereotyping people based on their phone? It's not stereotyping, it's what the data showed. Granted, it's a small pool of data. And like I said, this is the 3rd time I said, more studies would need to be done to see if it holds up, like even for the next study. And there could have been one. This is, like I said, from 2018. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's up. Aslan. Sounds like survey was paid for by Apple. I don't know. I think if you are spending more money on stuff and not denying you and not being yourself and not being frugal and stuff like that, I could easily believe that they are happier. And they'll continue to be happier until the spending gets out of control. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know what a jitterbug phone is. Yeah, I don't know what that is, so I'm old as well. Miss T. Bikini misses the old W4 farms. Kids on the platform and can do FaceTime. Yeah, you can do video conferencing on anything. I can do that on my Android as well, so that's not a thing. Also, I think they have a FaceTime app for Android as well, so you could still use that product. Even if you just have an Android, or you could use a different video conferencing for that. All right, let's answer some questions. So I used up all of the questions on the last after show on the reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And so there are a few more on today. I checked, but not enough like to finish the show. So I'm going to do this list of Facebook questions, and these came from the Ramsey Baby Steps community on Facebook, and that group is run by Ramsey Solutions. So the questions are kind of different in some ways than the ones you get on the Reddit. So let's see. And of course, I copied and pasted them rather than just read them from there, because when you read them on there, it's their actual names that show up. So I didn't lift out the names here. All right, let's see what Jayak wants. Baby step 1. Company said there will be layoffs in the next month. I'm also having issues with my housemate. Should I pause baby step 1 and find a new job? Yeah, just pile up cash. I mean, if they says there's going to be layoffs and you think you're going to be one of the ones laid off, that is more than a 51% chance to me that you will lose your job. So you're pausing baby step 1 and just piling up cash, which is the same as baby step 1 though. So you're not really pausing it. So if you end up with more than $1,000, you just keep that until you get a job. And then when you get a job, then you take the emergency fund back down to $1,000 and you put any excess towards your debt. Miss T. Bikini has been assimilated. Excellent. Apple phone too long. Tried Android like 10 years ago and couldn't do it. I get it. I get it. You know, the nice stuff is nice stuff, and but it just doesn't. It's the same thing like Mac computers. The operating system itself is not worth paying an extra $300-400 for the computer. Inside of it, it has the same exact stuff on the inside of that nice white Apple case. It has the same components in there and the different operating system. But like I said, the operating system is not worth another $300-400, at least to me. Oh, question 2. Jayak came prepared with multiple questions. Since there are layoffs, I won't be able to move. How do I deal with jealous housemates? You just have to tell them, go away. Get out of my business. Just tell them I don't appreciate it. You can not be so open with it. I mean, you can try to. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you can put the bag inside another bag if you want to, but I mean, you don't even have to do that. You can just not care what the hell they think about it. That's what I would advise. Just don't care. Big deal. Let them be nosy. You don't care. If they want to be able to buy the same food you do, they can work more. Something like that. Oh, let's see. Yep, layoffs are definitely stressful. Yep, store mode. Yep, you're just piling up cash. You pause in the baby steps. Don't worry, baby step 1 will still be there. Actually, it'll probably be done by the time you get another job. And so if it's done, that's great. And then you'll have extra money to apply to that step 2. Let's see. All right. This is the first question. Just came to shout it. All our credit card debt is paid off as of today. Started January 2023. Now to the 2 vehicles. $1,500 from credit card debt. Payments added to the car payments. Thinking first one paid off by March 2025, and then the last one no later than October 2025. If I were talking to this person, I would, maybe you Maybe you sell at least one of them. One with the highest payment, the one you owe the most on, maybe, or even both of them, and you buy two beaters. And you said they're due to be paid out in full until 2027, of course, but even until both of them being paid off October 25, you get rid of the problem immediately if you move down in car. So that could make it quicker. Question: we have a dilemma with a car. We have a 2014 SUV that works well with our family's needs. We're about to pay off the remaining $2K on our loan, which is pre-Dave, okay? However, it is in need of some costly repairs that will cost more than the car is worth. Do we look to sell and get another or pay for the repairs? It depends on how much the repairs are. I also use the car for my business and personal. I track my expenses and mileage, but this is my first year as a business owner, seasonal, and trying to figure out taxes and what's beneficial for business and our family. Well, it would be the same. The business isn't as much as a thing. I mean, for businesses, that's definitely wouldn't be having a loan for anything having to do with the business. That's all built with cash, so you wouldn't upgrade the vehicle. The business would have nothing to do with upgrading the vehicle. If you need to buy another vehicle instead of doing the repairs because they are so costly, but again, it depends on what it is, because theoretically, after you get the costly repairs, then you wouldn't have those particular problems anymore. And then it could last you another 10 years without needing anything if you take care of it. So it depends on what the repairs are. You know what you could do? You could have, I don't know what mechanic told you that it needed that, but you could have another mechanic look at it, especially if you have a friend or family member that's a mechanic. But if not, you could just find another one and ask them what they think. And if they say you don't need any repairs, then the first mechanic was trying to make some money off of you. Baby step 0, car just died. 2013 Chevy Captiva, timing chain slipped and wrecked the engine. Shop said it could cost $6,000 to $8,000 to fix. Need a vehicle ASAP. What would you do? I'm a single mom, already struggling to make ends meet and just having a hard time all around. You're on baby step 0, so you don't even have any savings. There's no way to get a free car. I don't know of any way that you can get a free car. And so you would have to have money to get a free car. I mean, to get a car at all. Even a beater, you would have to have enough, $1,000 to $2,000 to buy one. There's no magic, and there's no like magic button or easy button for the baby steps. The baby steps do require income, and it requires you to have extra income to be able to apply to said baby steps. So if you're struggling to make ends meet, you look at the budget again and see what you can cut out. A lot of people don't cut out everything that they should cut out. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, no baby step 2. Excellent. Okay, move right to 3. And okay, so great. So basically, you're not changing anything, because when pausing the baby steps, you would just be piling up cash, and that can just stay right in your baby step 1 and then stay in your baby step 3 once you do have a job. Yep, bus, bike, carpool, absolutely. You find a way. You got to find a way. And like I said, you look at that budget and you cut out some stuff that you don't want to cut out. Starting baby step 1 today. Okay, financial gurus, totes confused and looking for insight. Please be gentle. I have been paying a loan off every 2 weeks versus once a month, and at a high but not as high interest rate of 13%. I noticed out of the $7,500 paid in 15 months, only $2,000 was applied to principal. When I called the rep, told me this is because I pay every 2 weeks versus once a month. Okay. That could be, you have to look at your agreement with each individual company to see how they apply it. And also, even if they say, theoretically, if you write to principal, like if you're trying to pay your house off early and you put to principal in the memo, or if you even call it and said, I want extra, call them and say, I want extra, you still sometimes have to call them after each individual payment and tell them to fix it again, because they do not make a priority to get that correct. Let's see, interest charge daily. It's mostly all going to interest, mostly. She advised I pay once a month to start seeing the principal go down. Super confused by this. Can we shed some light on this? It could just be the way that they have it. It could just be the it's spelled out in their agreement with you as far as how payments will be applied. And so try doing that. Try doing once a month. But what you have to do, but when you make the payments only once a month, you have to not spend that money that you would have sent by paying it off every 2 weeks. You can't spend that money on something else. So that's the issue with that. So you got to have more discipline to do that. I do have do have a FICO score, even though I haven't had any debt in more than 5 years. It can take a while to come off, but also some utilities report it, that kind of thing. So you could be having some things reported. If you have a mortgage still, that does count as debt, and they are still reporting. And experienced this before, and what did you do to make it indeterminable? It's indeterminable, not undeterminable. But you just have to, yeah, if it's your utilities that are reporting, I don't think you can get them to stop doing that. So you just have to live with it. And you just, if you like try to apply for a new apartment or something like that, that would generally check your FICO score, you just tell them in advance it's going to be low, or I have an indeterminate one. I don't have one because I haven't had debt in more than 5 years. You just tell them in advance, and generally it's okay. This person, consumer debt free, finally. $189,000 paid off in less than 5 years. It took longer than expected, but the road was sweeter than we could have imagined. We were able to purchase a home, change careers, buy cars, and start our family during this journey. Alrighty. I've been following for some time, but I've not started working the steps. I see you can make extra money by selling your stuff to help pay off debt. Yep. Have an acre that we have been paying taxes on, but have not done anything with. Do we sell it or hold on to it? Sell it. If you're not going to do anything with it, sell it. Maybe even if you did want to do something with it, you haven't. So how much do you want to do something with it? Doesn't sound like that much. So sell it, and that would be better than keeping it and being wishy-washy about using it. Marshall's mortgage. Have to send the payment to a different address if going to the principal. Yeah, see, you got to find out what each individual company wants you to do that. And then you have to not be surprised if they still screw it up. MJ will be at baby step 4 and finish university at 22 years old. Should I only focus on step 4, as I will have a long time before I buy a house? Extra? Or should I do something in the meantime? What do you mean? Are you so if you're on step 4, it's step 4, 5, and 6. If you don't have any kids, step 5 doesn't apply to you. If you are not ready to buy a house, then step 3B, which is save the down payment, doesn't apply either. But if you think you're going to buy a house sometime, you can start saving a little bit as you want. And this is the beautiful part about step 3B. This is the one time, probably the one time, there might be one more situation I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, but this is the one time where you get to decide the ratio. You get to decide how much you put towards one step and how much to put towards the other. 3B and 4 you do at the same time, And so you get to decide the balance between those. So you can max out step 4 with doing the 15%. I mean, technically, if you don't have a house yet and you don't have kids, technically at step 4, you're on step 7, so you could invest more. But if you're eventually planning on buying a house at some point, I would probably start doing that. If it's going to be over 5 years, you can use the market to save for that house, but that can't be in a retirement account, obviously. How much lower do you think those high yield savings accounts are going to go? I would say they would drop at least with the 0.5 point that the Fed interest rate is being lowered. So they go down. So like 5, they're like most of them are around 5. I would say they're all going to be around 4.5 or less. And they may already be that way. Let's take a look. Take a look, see what's out there. Bankrate.com. Let's see. Stop. This always happens. There we go. High yield savings accounts. 4.66. Oh, let's see. 4.25. This one 5.30 from Lending Club. 5.05, 5.31, 4.5, 5.1, 5.1, 5.24. So there's still some up there, but I would think that they would all go. Of course, these could have been 0.5 higher before yesterday, and then they've all changed since then. I don't know. I didn't look at it last week. So, and as far as if they will go lower over time, no telling. They get to do what they want to do. Each individual bank gets to decide that. I can leave that. Where's my questions? There they are. Yes, 3B is not on there. And, you know, I tell the story a lot. So I do this show a lot and the answering your financial questions on the weekend. So I have this pulled up a lot. This is on the Ramsey Solutions website, and you click on products and you click on the baby steps, and this is one of their products, but guess what? It doesn't cost any money to follow this. Yeah, so I pulled it up one day and it actually had 3B on there. This was like in February, and I saw it on there and I thought, oh, hey, maybe they're updating it as part of the Total Money Makeover update. New version of the book, which got released in May of this past year. And so I thought they're doing that, but it was only like that for one day, because the next day I pulled it up, it was gone from there. So I don't know if somebody uploaded it by accident or they were just checking out to see if the website would work, all the links and stuff. I don't know for what reason, but it had 3B in there, and it just said something, very simply like save for down payment for a house. And so, yeah, that's not in there. That's the missing baby step. Also, baby step 0 is not there. That's missing as well. And that's a bunch of stuff. That's like getting current, getting insurances in place, getting on same space with spouse, making sure you have your 4 walls, clothing, food, shelter, transportation. And there's a couple more in there too that I can't think about the 4 walls. Yeah, that's what I just said. All right, Sid. Hey, Sid, I don't know if you heard on the one where the guy, all the Friends episodes were called the one where and then something, but the one where from the UK, oh no, it was from a UK paper, but it was in California, where the guy, see, I told you I say too much to be a Ramsey personality. Oh, where the guy was paying for his neighbor's electric. The electric company apologized, but they said they couldn't fix it until the next billing cycle. Can you relate to that at all? And I was saying, I guess it's possible. I get it. But they're the ones in control of the billing cycle. They could just change the billing cycle for that one person, maybe. I don't know, unless they have everybody on the same one, or if it depends when you start the service. So I just want to know if you had any cite on that. Yeah, Sid put down the, shelter, food, utilities, transportation, clothing. Now, clothing, you get by with what you have as best you can. So you're not buying any clothes on step 0 or even step 1 unless it's an absolute necessity. After baby step 1, I have my 1,000 bloody quid saved. Can I then start a sinking fund? Also, can I have a sinking fund before I complete baby step 3 or after? I mean, that's up to you. Like, the sinking fund is not a slush fund for you to just spend money on whatever you want to. It's not like a just catch-all thing. It's not just so you have extra money. Sinking fund is for a specific reason. Like, I know that, say, by June of next year, I'm going to have to buy new tires. So then you can start a sinking fund for that because it has a name. There's not just a general sinking fund to cover whatever, because then guess what? All kinds of whatever things come up. So you have to be intentional with your money, and you spend it in advance that way, meaning you have a specific purpose for that sinking fund, and it's not just extra money in case you feel like spending it one day. Yep, that's utilities. What was the billing cycle question? Oh, I think for like 9 years, a guy had been paying for his neighbor's electric because that neighbor's meter was put on the wrong apartment. So he was paying for the wrong meter, basically, was assigned to his account. And so they said they couldn't fix it during the current billing cycle. They had to wait till the billing cycle date came up. Yeah, you name the sinking fund. It's tires, or it's even after you're in a higher baby step. Even if you're in baby step 4, it's the sinking fund is vacation. It's not just money that we can just spend whenever we want to, because then that's gonna take your focus off of doing the baby steps, which should be doing. If you want to take a vacation, have a vacation, name a sinking fund vacation and use that money for a vacation, that's fine. Being unintentional with the money by just having a bunch laying around so that you can just spend it willy-nilly whenever, that's not part of the baby steps. That doesn't happen until step 7. Step 7 is I will allow you to, on step 7, I will allow you to have a slush fund at that point to cover whatever. But yeah, during the baby steps, you don't save more money other than the emergency fund and sinking funds that are for upcoming known expenses. Cross meters happen. Unfortunately, it depends on if those are set up with smart meters or not, how easy it would be to fix. Okay. Someone physically has to read the meter once a month still, then it makes sense. They would have to wait till the final read at that location. All right. Yeah, and so on the lower baby step, you need to take it easy on Christmas too. So, you got to treat it like you don't have an emergency fund yet. You don't have a full emergency fund yet because you don't. And so Christmas might need to be minimal this year, but then next year it won't have to be. Oh, so where were we? So I finished so 3B should be right there, and it was for one glorious day, and it was not. And at one point I'll make a video for the missing baby steps, step 0 and step 3B. So grateful that I became debt-free in December 2022. I was dumb, we all were, and went into debt for a car, or most of us did, but paid off $23,000 in 10 months. January this year, at 26, I was diagnosed with cancer. That sucks. I haven't worked since January 5th, just living off long-term disability between my savings and a large lump sum of critical illness in this time of crisis. I'm still saving money. Okay. I seriously couldn't imagine going through this with debt. Exactly. Exactly. And cancer is about the worst thing I can think of for to be used in this example, but any kind of adverse financial situation you can run into, the higher up on the baby steps that you are, meaning the highest number, the higher the number of baby steps that you're on, the easier it is to deal with any of these situations. I truly enjoy the cash is king life, especially when medical bills come in and you pay it off when you get it. Baby steps work. Absolutely they do. And once I make the comeback, my Roth 401k is getting maxed out. Everything happens for a reason. Credits and additional balances can be applied to both customers. That's right, Sid. That's what I was saying too. It's like, maybe you can't fix it today, but you can give them consideration maybe that you couldn't fix it today and, give them a half month of credit or whatever. I'm in a debt consolidation program, and that's what Mr. Ramsey calls it, because basically you're pawning it off onto somebody else to deal with. And in the worst situations, they are just going to have you send them all your money that you would be paying the companies, and they're going to let your debts go into collections and then settle them later. Guess who could do that without paying these buttholes any money? You could do that. Now, in the best situation, you're just moving it around. You're just moving the debt around, and again, that makes you think you did something. But yeah, just having other people deal with it is the main reason I think a lot of people like to go into this. But these people are not free, and so when you do the debt consolidation program, you're immediately adding more debt onto your current debt. And that's a part of baby step 0 as well, is you decide that you're going to pay off your dumb, stupid debt, and you're not going to add any more dumb, stupid debt. Been in it for about a year and 3 months. What happens if I pay the companies in the program separately? I wouldn't do that at all, because, like I said, they may already be in collections. You don't know. They could already be in collections. And so you paying them would not do anything. Can't find anything in Google when I tell you. You have to ask the debt consolidation program about that and see exactly what they're doing with that debt. Let's see. When I type in search, it wants me to sign up for more programs. Yep. I'm being taken to court by some of the creditors in the program bill. You need to ask the debt consolidation people, what do you do about being taken to court? And you wouldn't be taken to court usually until it was in collections, and that would be the collectors taking you to court. And so, yeah. And guess what? You could have just not paid and still been in that same position without sending the debt consolidation people any money. I didn't know about this Dave Ramsey stuff until it was too late. Yep, that happens. And don't think I can get out of the program this late in the game. You can ask them. You can ask them how to do that. You can read your agreement with them and see if it says anything about that. My friend said, more money, more problems. It doesn't have to be. It's only because you're doing dumb things with it. Yeah, more money, more solutions. Right, if you're doing the right things with it. Absolutely. Happy Friday, y'all. It's not Friday yet, but it is. Oh, yeah, speaking of that, we had a relatively good practice run, a test of Family Feud questions. And so it won't be an after show tomorrow at this time slot, but we'll play Family Feud if there's enough people. There was like 4 yesterday, and so just need probably a couple more than that, so don't need that many. But we'll do a Family Feud, and they are a lot more difficult than I thought they would be. Oh, let's see. And it's not going to be a like team like it is on the show where it's families or teams. It's going to be every chatter for themselves. Happy Friday, y'all. Sid won yesterday handily. How lucky am I that I could meet up with my Ramsey FPU coach Janet DeJager for breakfast while I'm traveling through Iowa on my move home to Buffalo. Through Iowa to Buffalo. That's more traveling than I have to go from Arkansas to OH. God is good. Our first time meeting in person after going through FPU via Zoom last year. Excellent. Cool. I led 2 FPU classes. Had a great time. I should do another. Maybe I'll do another one of those when I get back to OH. Look at that. That's a lot of 20s. That might be an emergency fund. $1,000. Let's see. Just need clarification. Unless that was a standalone post. Just need clarification on mortgage. No more than 25% of take-home pay. Is that the gross minus all taxes only, or everything deducted on gross, including health insurance, FSA, dental, vision, etc.? I think that's everything. I think that's your take-home pay, because you're gonna be, that's what you have to work with after all this is taken out, unless you're not gonna have that stuff taken out anymore, which you are gonna have it taken out. Hi guys, fairly new to the whole baby steps thing, but for the first time in my life, I'm living on and following a budget. Excellent. Thank you. Every dollar, yeah, it does help a lot of people. It wasn't for me. Tried it, wasn't for me. I went back to my Google Sheet, and man, it is life-changing. Though not gonna lie, definitely don't lie to me. Definitely give the honesty disclaimer there. It is hard. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and having just moved to Nashville, I realized I was gonna have a difficult time making it with debt hanging over my head. My question for y'all is, how do you stay encouraged to keep going? Well, you have to want to improve your lot in life. Just like you feel it's improved now by doing a budget, you follow all the rest of the Ramsey advice, and in turn, each time, that's going to make your life a little bit better. On August 1st, we became completely debt-free. No car loans, student loans, credit card debt, and now no mortgage. Excellent. Thank you to my wife, Kim, for your inspiration, and Dave Ramsey for your incredible baby steps. They work. We're debt-free. Freedom! Oh, so many questions. Let's see. Showing off his cash. Because I think it was just $1,000. Because there wasn't that many 20s. Let's see. More questions. Should I start paying for things in store with cash and always keep cash on me? Yeah, you don't have to do that. If you can stick to your budget and use a debit card, like my ex-wife and I, when we were getting out of debt, we didn't have any problem sticking to the budget. And so we just continued to use debit cards for everything. So we didn't have to do cash. Cash is for people that are going to spend more just because they're using a card. Yeah, so it is correct. All cash, recommended for those needing to learn discipline. Hey there, baby steppers. A super nice lady alerted me of this very rare steal at Domino's Pizza right now. It's a cheapskate's paradise. Right now, they have a $6.99 for large 2-topping pizza. That's right, I got one of them. My mom in the old days would have bought at least 10 of these and froze them when we were very poor growing up. It just bought 6 of these for our Oxford houses for their next weekly house meeting. I don't know what that is. What a steal, LOL. This is how you beat inflation. Use your freezer, LOL. Yeah. I even got one of them. I hadn't had pizza in a long time, but I got one of those for $6.99. Favorite way to track your expenses and pay your budget, plan your budget throughout the month. Every dollar, try every dollar. That's what I would advise. Otherwise, you can make a spreadsheet and make it do exactly what you want. I know this would be personal to everyone, but looking for best option. We use the Dave Ramsey app for a while during the period we took his class, and it was included, right? I like how it was linked to your account, so everything was tracked. But now it would be a monthly charge, so curious what others like. You can also continue using it and just manually put in your expenses, which also can help because that way you are looking at the numbers more. And if you know your numbers more, you will theoretically do better with your numbers. Little Caesars, $5 a pizza. What are they up to now? Shout out to everyone doing the Dave Ramsey plan without a spouse to help. 42 widow here. My husband died and left me with nothing 5 years ago. Then Pandy happened and my brother also died. It's taken a long time to process all that grief. There have been good and bad choices along the way, but now I have the Dave Ramsey baby steps and this group helping me to get my financial life cleaned up. I have a really nice Canon camera that I saved for years for. Would go for about $1,200 now. I worked so hard to get it. I'm in baby step 2, doing well. Photograph my children, also family members. I don't need to get rid of it, do I? It's the only thing that brings me some joy. That's up to you. I mean, $1,200 for a camera, you know, you get a free one with your Android phone. Hopefully you don't have an iPhone, spoiled. But you get a free one with your phone. And I know you think, oh, this one's really nice. Yeah, but you can't call anybody on that Canon camera, can you? You can't text anybody on it. But on stuff like that, I recommend, okay, fine, then sacrifice something else you don't want to give up then. Some other kind of expenditure that you do, like every month or something like that. Sacrifice in another way to be able to keep that camera. But probably you should sell the camera. Oh, it's $5.99 now. All right. Well, I mean, that's not that bad for as much as, everything else went up. Except the Costco hot dogs, right? And except for the, it's been probably over 6 years where Domino's had the $7.99 large 2-topping pizza. And it's still that price. So some things haven't changed. If you listen to the show long enough, somebody has called in with your problem. That's right. Since our issues are veteran specific, I doubt it. False. Guess what? Veterans have called in before, but most people don't fall into these scenarios, so I'll play along. It's all really one. I don't know if that's I don't think it's the same one because it's not blue. So this is just somebody. One more time. This is my interpretation of this Facebook poster here. It's not. This is not my specific little situation. So you guys don't understand. Hey, you know what you could do? You could call then. Call on the phone. Stay on hold for hours. See if you can get past the screener. She has children, but the only thing that brings her joy is the camera. Yeah, she was, you know what she was doing? She was going all aboard, and we were going to Justification Station, is where we were headed to. Boom, boom, boom. Canon cameras. I'm sure they're great. I'm sure they're fine. My phone camera's great. Let's see. It's really one of a few questions anyway. Oh, this is still highlighted, but not blue. Okay, so maybe it is part of the same guy doing it. How do I pay off debt faster and or reduce my expenses? You don't pay money. you don't spend money on anything else, and also you cut other stuff out of your budget. That's how you reduce your expenses. Easy. How to increase my income? You work more. This encompasses the career stuff. You work more. Work overtime, get a second job. Now that I'm in debt, how do I grow my money? Well, before you grow it, you save your full emergency fund after that. Outside of these three questions, a caller is searching for a way to release the pressure of debt without letting go of their cash. Yeah, that happens quite a bit. They wanna leverage debt in order to have savings, in order to have cash in the bank instead of paying off that debt with the cash. Yeah, that all happens a lot. Certainly does. Cash assets and lifestyle that were probably purchased with debt. Yep, that's how it goes. You figured it out, sir. Congratulations. Our son is a junior in high school at a new school and chose to be in a class called Money Matters. When he came home from school, he shared that the class is based off of Dave Ramsey, their teacher shared. Okay, I don't know if it's that's an actual bit of Ramsey curriculum. Their school curriculum, it's in high schools. It's in, I think, over 40% of American high schools, maybe some middle schools too. It is called Foundations in Finance. So Money Matters may be based off of his advice, but put out by somebody else, possibly. The teachers. I was so excited as he has been listening to Dave since he was 8 years old, talking about the now junior in high school. So I asked him if he knows what that means. He seemed puzzled, and I said, that means you should get an A+ in the class because you've been raised on Dave's principles of no debt. That's right, if he paid attention, and likely he did learn all that because, as Rachel says, more is caught than taught. So just by being around it and listening to it, if you listen to it on the radio, like in the car or whatever, then he's heard it. Baby step 2, pay off all debt. And it looks like they are close. Paid off so far, yep, $34,229.29. $12,805.16 left to go. Great. What time is it? Have I been babbling too long? I have. It's been over an hour. Alrighty. So any final questions? Anything else I can answer? And while you say that, I'll go ahead and give my plugs again. Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach, Coach Steve Money. And again, youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney is where you are listening to this. And you just scroll down on that main page to the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist. And the Ramsey Show Aftershow playlist. There are countless hours of me saying that people are dumb for doing debt stuff and so forth from there. So all kinds of fun. And the music playlist. Singing's not my regular job. Not the best. I've tried to get other people to sing. Nobody's taken me up on my offer to sing any of these songs because I would much rather have them do it. But nobody's taking me up on my offer to do that because I would gladly play that on my show. But again, 11 Ramsey adjacent songs on here. 4 of them, I think, about the baby steps. And the other one's about the personalities. And one about lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep. Instead be a widow. Why the heck are you in debt? So yeah, that's how that one goes. I'm not going to get a plant. And I know, who is that? Simply Blessed. I know she's heartbroken by that, but I am not going to do that. I mean, that's an unnecessary expense for me. I don't have a plant money in the budget. I can, if I want to see, there's a forest right outside of my window, so I can see that at any time. All right, let's do the plugs. Let me reset them. Alrighty. You can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. You can also email me, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. If you have any financial questions or about the coaching or about anything else on my YouTube channel, there's a bunch of stuff on there. You can do that. Donations, paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively to Cash App at $CoachSteveMoney. Alternatively still to Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. And those upcoming streams are on the weekends, answering your financial questions live Saturday and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, unless there's a football game on that I want to see. In that case, I'll do it at 4 p.m. in the afternoon on Saturday and Sunday. The Ramsey Show Aftershow show Tuesdays and Thursdays, approximately 5:25 Eastern Time, when the Ramsey Show goes to the network app. And the Ramsey Show Chat Refugee Stream Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at that same time slot, 5:25 Eastern Time, when the Ramsey Show finishes up on the Ramsey Network app. And tomorrow's content, if there's enough people, will be Family Feud. Fridays are tough, though. There seems to be fewer people on there. I get it. It's the weekend, so I don't know if that'll happen or not. If that doesn't happen, maybe I'll play a bit of a video game or something, just so something's going on at that time. And one final check for questions. Nope, no other questions. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everybody watching. Thank you so much. If you have not, please subscribe, like, and comment. Do all the things that show support for me. And yes, I very humbly thank you for that and humbly ask you to do any of those if you have not. Alrighty. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.